I'd be lying if I said I was surprised to hear that you died on us because you were special and because of that you were troubled. What? That don't make no damn sense. What are you talking about? You're not troubled, but you were different, and that made you troubled. Like, nigga, what? You just called me troubled with a few extra steps. What are you talking about?
The whole post that I made about Mac Miller was about love and that can actually be brothers. It wasn't about stealing. I never used the word copy. I never.
You what? What are you talking about? Copy? Yeah, no, you didn't say copy. You literally called your mixtape the blueprint. Are you Jay-Z? Like, what are we talking about?
Use the word.
Boy, niggas be saying anything.
Steal. The thing is, Mac Miller.
Goldlink, bro, Goldlink, that really just pissed me off. Goldlink, the type of person to say something indirectly, and then if you try to confront them about it, they're gonna say, I didn't say that. I never used those words. We could play the word game all day, nigga. We're talking about what you meant by what you said. Like, what?
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. He told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heated up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle. Let
me ask y'all a question. Was Goldlink anybody's favorite artist? Like, I'm not even trying to talk bad about bro, but like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody put Goldlink in their top 5 ever. When I say Goldlink, you're probably thinking, damn, I ain't heard about him in a minute. And that's for a reason. See, I knew he dissed Mac, but I didn't know how bad it was for him. But basically, Goldlink, he made a tweet talking bad about Mac Miller like right after he passed away or something. At least that's how I remember it. I don't know what bro was on. I don't know why he said that. But Matty B is finna explain it to us. So let's go.
About a year after Mac Miller passed away from a drug overdose, an artist by the name of Goldlink made a tribute post to Mac. But it wasn't like any other tribute post, because the entire post came off as extremely disrespectful to Mac Miller and his legacy, especially since Mac wasn't even alive to respond to it. This sent everyone on the internet into a fit of rage that was so devastating to Goldlink's career that he doesn't even release music anymore. But to understand why Goldlink did this and the type of backlash he received, we have to understand a little bit about his relationship with Mac Miller. I also think it's important to understand that you can get a free legendary and 2 epic heroes along with the free gaming console. You heard me right, I'm talking about a free console. And a bunch of other things like Amazon gift cards.
Oh, this is back. This is an older video. This is when niggas used to play Raid Shadow Legends all the time. Shout out to Mattballz. I can't stand Raid Shadow Legends, I'm not gonna lie.
Other ones were taken and my friend helped me choose the name. But make sure to join so we can go crazy on Raid Shadow Legends together. Now let's get back to the video.
Goldlink and Mac
Goldlink
Miller
is a rapper who released his first and breakthrough mixtape, The God Complex, in 2014, which was highly rated by outlets like Spin, Pitchfork, Clash, and more. He got into touch with Rick Rubin, who executively produced Goldlink's next mixtape, After That We Didn't Talk. This allowed Goldlink to get a solid amount of buzz. And then
I haven't heard none of those. See, I know very little about Goldlink. I probably like 3 of his songs. Mac, on the other hand, Mac's my boy.
He got into contact with Mac Miller. There isn't a ton of information on Mac Miller and Goldlink's relationship, but the most public aspect of it is when Mac Miller brought him on his Good AM tour in 2015, along with artists like Earth Gang,
Tory Lanez,
Genesis, and more. This tour really helped bring a lot of eyes to Goldlink, and many fans of Mac Miller became fans of Goldlink. One thing that was clear about Mac Miller is he seemed like a really good guy, and it seemed like he wanted to show his fans some really good music that he enjoyed. Many of his relationships were public and friendly, and most fans were aware of how good of a guy Mac Miller seemed to be. Mac even made Goldlink a cake after being on the tour. Pitchfork said, he helped introduce just about every young rapper he came into contact with to a bigger audience, including Goldlink. Miller always seemed
Chance, YG, Joey Badass, the Cool Kids, Earl, Sweat. Dang, I didn't know he put on all of these people.
to find a way to be in close proximity to the
Jesus, I didn't know Mac put on all of those people, bro. That's crazy.
Artists he loved, either bigging them up or putting them on. Goldlink even said himself that Mac Miller was one of the first artists to put him on.
Without Mac Miller, there would be no Goldlink. He was the first. I'm gonna tell you two things that helped me out. The first that ever even looked my way was Pusha T. The second person was Wale, and the third person was Mac motherfucking Miller. Okay.
It was around this time that Mac Miller began working on his next studio album, The Divine Feminine. Released in 2016, the album was a lot smoother, with less rapping, more singing, and more melodic. He had topics about women and love, which was a bit...
The first Mac album that I actually sat down and listened to was Swimming, and unfortunately, like, literally like a month after I listened to it, he passed away. But when I listened to Swimming, bro, I loved it so much that I went back and I checked out his whole discography, bro.
Bit different from most of his previous material. Mac gave a few reasons as to why he went that route.
Like my perspective on love and kind of like adoration towards a female, you know what I mean? Like that love story, and it's not like there's just no like negativity involved in it. There's not like there's pain, but there's not like an angry breakup song or anything like that. It's just very like very sacred smooth towards the female.
I'm pretty sure he also said one time that he made the
R.I.P. for real, bro,
album because he saw too many guys at his show and not enough girls, but I can't remember the interview, so let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Regardless, this album was a huge success, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and having songs like Dang Go Platinum. But Goldlink had a problem with this album, one that he wouldn't reveal until 3 years later. In the meantime, Goldlink saw a solid amount of success.
At what cost? Yeah, this is the only Goldlink project that I knew of, because he got the "You see money all around me, you selling the man,"
releasing his third mixtape, At What Cost. He had features from artists like Steve Lacy, Wale, K Tronada, and more. It peaked at 127 on the Billboard 200, which isn't too bad for a smaller artist, and it even went gold. The song Crew from that project, featuring Shy Glizzy and Brent Faiyaz, became a huge hit, and even eventually went 7 times platinum.
But that don't surprise me. I was about to say what, but then I thought about it. No, you couldn't go one day without hearing that song on the radio. I'm gonna be real with you.
Then something happened that not only changed Goldlink's life, but many people's lives in the hip-hop community. On September 7th of 2018, Mac Miller was found dead in his home after a drug overdose.
Jesus, he was 26, bro. It's crazy.
He was known to have struggled with drugs. It's evident in his music, but his death still shook the world. His streams shot up 970%, thousands of fans...
It sucks. Like I said, man, literally like a month, because it happened like, what year did Swimming come out? 2018. Yeah. So I remember he dropped that album, and then he did an interview which was kind of foreshadowy and kind of creepy, where he was like, people aren't really gonna even try to check out my music until I'm dead, for real. Like, I remember him saying that because people posted about him saying that after he passed away. I checked out Swimming, I loved it, checked out his whole discography, and then I didn't know he had dropped Swimming. Okay, I knew of Mac Miller, but I hadn't checked him out. But then, literally, like just a month before he passed away, I finally checked out Swimming, and then I started to listen to his whole discography, and then he passes away, bro. That it was whiplash, bro. Like, for real.
Hosted a vigil at Blue Slide Park in Pittsburgh,
crazy.
And many celebrities offered their condolences. Future, Chance the Rapper, John Mayer, DJ Khaled, Jaden Smith, Shawn Mendes, Victoria Justice, J. Cole, Ariana Grande.
I ain't gonna lie, Ariana Grande was kind of pissed me off, but I understood it. But you know what I'm saying, she kind of did him a little dirty. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up, bro.
And
didn't she break up with Pete Davidson after he passed away? I don't know.
Many more people mourned his death online. It was clear what a positive impact Mac Miller had left on people, and just how loved he was by everyone in the community. Schoolboy Q, a good friend of his, explained it well in an interview.
To this day, I don't understand how I can't call no more. Like, an innocent soul, like losing a friend to gangbanging is way different from losing a friend that's like an innocent little kid. That's just...
Yeah, because with gangbanging, you always operate knowing in the back of your head you can lose this person at any time. But like somebody who's not in the street, somebody who don't gangbang, bro, when you lose them, it's kind of like a shock. It's like, damn, like death comes for everybody.
Super pure. Like.
Everyone was upset about Mac's death, including Goldlink. He did an interview with Colors after Mac's passing and shouted him out for being one of the first people to put him on.
Mac was a person who actually believed in me when nobody else did at the time. Like, that was around the same time as I did the first Colors. That was 2015. He's like, hey, why don't you come on? That was like my first hip-hop look.
But there was a jealousy and resentment brewing in Goldlink's heart that led to a career-shattering Instagram post that he made in 2019. A year after Mac Miller passed away, Goldlink made a post on Instagram that was sort of an open letter to his old pal Mac. Goldlink said, "I'd be lying if I said I was surprised to hear that you died on us. Not because you were necessarily troubled, but because you were special, and because of that, you were troubled." Already.
Huh? Okay, I've never actually seen the post. I'd be lying if I said I was surprised to hear that you died on us, not because you were, but because you were special, and because of that you were troubled. What? That don't make no damn sense. What are you talking about? You're not troubled, but you were different, and that made you troubled. Like, nigga, what? You just called me trouble with a few extra steps. What are you talking about?
Already, he ruffled some feathers by essentially saying, "I expected you to die," which is just
crazy.
a really odd comment, but somehow it got worse. I think what made you and I special is that we weren't always on the best terms, so I didn't always have great things to say about you. When we were on the Good AM tour, I played you my album, and after that we didn't talk, and you thought it was absolutely incredible. I released it under the Soulection label, and the single for my album was called Unique featuring Anderson .Paak, and that was your favorite song at the time. I always thought you drove yourself insane about your own music, so much that you would adopt styles as homage to those around you that you loved. That's where our problems started. Divine Feminine was an actual blueprint of "and after that we didn't talk." Your single was called Dang, featuring Anderson .Paak. You had Soulection support you on the Divine Feminine tour, and when I tried to contact you about anything at all, you never hit me. A close mutual friend ended up just hitting my DJ saying, "Listen man, we love Link, but we just had to do what we had to do." And Max said if he ever needs a verse at any time, he got him. Afterwards, we seen each other at Coachella, and you put...
What? Okay, so he's saying that Mac bit his whole flow from... Yo, he said that Mac bit his whole style in his Divine Feminine album, and he was mad about that. Wow.
Put your head down like an innocent child, but I told you to pick it up and I hugged you like the brother you are to me. You were the first person brave enough to openly say he's dope and gave me a platform. That meant more to me than anything else. 3 days before you died, I remember pulling up on you at the crib, walking in the house and seeing the Divine Feminine album plaque on the wall. I was so proud of you and what you created for yourself, and I'm forever grateful for that.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was like a mixed bag of Oreos, man. Like, the entire middle part was just you sounding jealous, and in the end part you pay homage. Like, what are we talking? So are you mad about it or not? Like, what are we talking about? And besides, if you think he bit your style from and after that we didn't talk, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, gang. people get inspired by different artists all the time. If anything, you should see it as a compliment. And I understand that you were probably upset that his album did way better than your mixtape. But like, I mean, that's something you should have talked to him about and squashed it with him. It's not like Mac wasn't a type of person you couldn't approach or nothing. I don't know, bro.
This post sent everyone into a frenzy. Understandably so. Goldlink was essentially taking credit for one of Mac Miller's albums, saying he was proud of him as if he was some sort of big brother and huge inspiration, and he straight up accused him of stealing. Not to mention, this was 3 years after the album came out and 1 year after Mac Miller passed away.
There was plenty of time for you to actually tell him. And besides, it's not like you own the copyright to that style of music anyway. This is crazy.
That this post was inspired by pure jealousy, blind rage, and hatred for another man and the success that he had, right? Because if Mac Miller hadn't been the name that he was, I don't think Goldlink would have ever been upset that deeply. I don't think he would have been. How much of a narcissist do you have to be to turn someone dying into your moment to prop yourself up as if you are some sort of genius that needed to be stolen from, and you in the same post act like you're the bigger man for somewhat forgiving him and quote unquote being proud of him as if you helped him reach his level of success?
Like, facts, like that was like a backhanded compliment to yourself. Like, that's crazy. It's ridiculous. Like, the fact that you were attaching that to a remembrance post about him is insane. Like, what? That's crazy, because he really did in so many words say, yeah, Mac bit my whole style, my whole flow to my mixtape. Like, nigga, what? If we listen to Divine Feminine and that other mixtape back to back, bro, I promise you, it's not gonna sound too similar, man.
Goldlink admitted, Mac Miller opened up his fan base to him, so many of Goldlink's fans were originally fans of Mac. So clearly, even Goldlink's own fan base was going to be very upset about this. Goldlink used a picture from the last day I ever saw Mac Miller, I think from his last photo shoot in life, to kick up some questionable stuff over a year after the kid passed and can't even respond. And I can't even wrap my head around the logic that would tell someone to do this.
Exactly.
This dude low-key said Mac copied his style for an album because of a Pac feature, but in the end tried to make it look like he was proud of him. Weirdo.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Goldlink's post was so upsetting that not only fans responded, but it prompted a fellow friend of Mac and collaborator Anderson .Paak to respond. He said, at Goldlink, I would imagine your weird ass posted up somewhere just like this when you decided to make that disrespectful, narcissistic, jealous, grossly unnecessary post. Why would you do it? I can't even understand it. Since you felt it necessary to bring me up twice, and my boy ain't here to respond, I'ma say it like this. You ain't the first to make an album inspired by a relationship. You ain't the first to make a song featuring Anderson .Paak, but you are the first to disrespect my friend who is no longer here for absolutely no reason, and I can't stand for that.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not about negativity, but this bugged me bad, bro. I've called you and DM'd you and you haven't responded. So since this is what you look to do in order to get attention, we can do it like this. You're not surprised, huh? Well, I'm in disbelief. Divine Feminine was such a blueprint of your record. Then tell me where the plaques are, or whatever your shit was called. Mac brought your ass on tour. That's what I'm saying. Low-key, like, even like let's play with Goldlink's story too, bro. Let's say Mac did bite him. Mac probably did it better. Like, let's be 100% honest, bro. Even if Mac did bit him, obviously Mac provided still some quality music regardless. He was talking about it was like a blueprint. Like, that's ridiculous, man. The blueprint to a Mac Miller album, boy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Anderson .Paak continued to say how this really upset him, and that Goldlink wouldn't respond to any of his messages, so he decided to make a public post in response. He continued, if Divine Feminine was such a blueprint of your record, then tell me where the plaques are for whatever your shit was called. Mac brought your ass on tour and opened up his fan base to you when you had nothing, and this is the type of appreciation you give? You should have just been grateful for the opportunity. Whatever issues you had with Mac should have been addressed in person and ended there. What's the point of bringing this up after his passing and disrespecting his name? Some things simply have nothing to do with you, but when you have a god complex, I'm sure it's easy to think everything comes from you or was inspired in some way. Anderson .Paak perfectly explained how everyone else felt about the situation, expressing just how disrespectful and
I didn't know how bad it was, bro. Like, for real.
Weird it was to make a post like that about a dead man. One fan said, when Anderson .Paak goes off on you, you know you wrong. He the happiest / chillest dude ever. Like I said earlier, stealing from friends and fellow.
I don't think Anderson .Paak got a mean bone in his body.
You know you wrong. He the happiest / chillest dude ever. Like I said earlier, stealing from friends and fellow artists is something out of Mac Miller's character, and many people were upset Goldlink even suggested this. Vince Staples even said that Mac refused to take royalties from any of their collabs.
He didn't want no publishing. He said, if you make $1 million, buy me a S-Class Benz or something like that.
Publishing off the beats he made?
Yeah, the whole project. He gave me ownership of it.
That's
and all
dope.
that. He just said, if you make a gang of money, just give me like an S-Class. Wow. And then took me on the road, paid for my room and board, and still paid me. So yeah, that was the homie. He did a lot.
So obviously this accusation upset many fans and friends of Mac Miller. With all of the outrage, Goldlink attempted to respond at a show shortly after.
Tell you something. The whole post that I made about Mac Miller was about love and that can actually be brothers. It wasn't about stealing. I never used the word copy. I never.
You what? What are you talking about? Copy? Yeah, no, you didn't say copy. You literally called your mixtape the blueprint. Are you Jay-Z? Like, what are we talking about?
Use the word
Boy, niggas be saying anything.
steal. The thing is, Mac Miller.
Goldlink, bro, Goldlink, that really just pissed me off. Goldlink, the type of person to say something indirectly, and then if you try to confront them about it, they're gonna say, I didn't say that. I never used those words. We can play the word game all day, nigga. We're talking about what you meant by what you said. Like, what? like we're not at a third grade reading comprehension level. You know what I'm saying? Your words have a meaning, and when you put certain words together in a certain order, it has a certain meaning to it. Like, you can't just sit here and say, I didn't directly say steal or copy. When you literally call your mixtape the blueprint to Mac Miller's album, like, are we kidding? What are we talking about? Okay.
Wrote all of Divine Feminine. That was a great album.
However, despite his best efforts, people weren't having it. One fan wrote, "Best friends don't give backhanded compliments to dead best friends." TMZ even posted an article saying that he was backtracking. And he was. He knew what he was saying, as did all the fans, and there was no going back from it. About 3 weeks later, Goldlink made a post on his alternate Instagram account where he said, "I remember getting a call that I was culturally canceled after I posted something about a friend that died due to an overdose on his own couch. I laughed. I thought the attempt was quite cute, actually." So
this nigga, oh my god, this nigga actually probably loves to smell his own farts, bro.
Not only did Goldlink disrespect the dead, but then he started acting like he was some evil anime antagonist. Anyways, he just
I laughed. Like,
continued on to tell a story about
like an evil Dave Chappelle,
how close he was with Mac and how they hung out right before he died. But comments like these did not help, and fans made that evident. Even this comment on its own pisses me off. Overdose on his own couch. I don't know why, but that just pisses me off. You're sharing too many details about you shouldn't be speaking about. The Goldlink hate train was already full steam ahead.
Jesus.
Shortly after the controversy, in January of 2020, he posted a video to Instagram of him performing in Johannesburg with the caption, "Cancelled feels nice." After that, though, he started canceling shows and slowly fading away from the public eye. On top of that, the pandemic happened, which definitely didn't help his career out at all. Despite only 3 releases in 2020, one of which was called Best Rapper in the World, he came back with an album called Haram in 2021. After releasing the lead single, he sent some shots at Sheck West to rehash some previous beef and possibly to promote the album.
I bet niggas was rolling their eyes.
Regardless, people weren't huge on this next project. This MF recording on a drive-through speaker. How does he go from At What Cost to
somebody said this is not what I ordered?
This is what you hear if you get sleep paralysis in a club. Sure, people's disdain from him after the Mac comments may have swayed public opinion, but his career was going downhill. Not only that, but he got like 0 press for the album release. I was only able to find 2 super small interviews he did to promote the album.
Wow.
And that was it. It's likely that after his comments about Mac Miller,
he got blackballed. He absolutely got blackballed, bro. But he did it to himself.
Beloved figure in the music industry, that Goldlink was blackballed by many people in the industry. The lack of press
blackballing is a real thing, bro. And look, being a rapper, okay, let me go on a little side tangent, man. Being a rapper, as much as it sucks, man, public perception of your character is actually an important part of your career. You know what I'm saying? Like, very few people can disrespect the dead and get away with it. Like, are we being serious right now? Like, as much as you wish that you could just cruise on by the accolades of your music alone, if people just don't like you, niggas is gonna find any reason under the sun to hate you. And don't get me started if you're hated so much that just associating with you can get you hated. Like, are we kidding me? Like, no, bro. He did that to himself. That's crazy.
Is evident in how poorly the album performed. It didn't chart, most songs didn't crack 1 million plays, and I can't even find the first week's sales, which is crazy in comparison to his previous album, which had a lot of great reviews and performed much better. Regardless, after that, Goldlink pretty much fell off the face of the earth. Besides a retweet on his Twitter and a song he featured on in 2023, he's been gone. Even his website was shut down. His Instagram comments are turned off, likely from all the hate he was receiving, and it seemed like his career was going to be entirely over. That was until I saw that he featured on The Front Porch about a month ago, along with a small interview. He's grown a beard and grew out his hair, so maybe he's changing up his style, trying to put the drama behind him and start anew. It's likely that Goldlink thought maybe disappearing for a while would have got a lot of the heat off of him.
Nah, it's not a good idea. How many videos have we reacted to on this channel where an artist thinks that they can duck off for a couple of years and come back to any modicum of success. Like, no, dude. Unless your name already holds a lot of weight, unless you're already pretty much a staple, you gotta already be in the conversation for one of the greats of your time period in order for you to just duck off and come back. Like, you can't do that. Your career is going to go ice cold and nobody's going to try to revive it.
But based on how people still bring up this incident to this day, it's likely that his career will be ruined forever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please make sure to leave a like. And
I can't say I feel that bad about bro. Can't feel that bad for him at all. Look at this. Mac wasn't even alive to respond, and he still won the beef. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, niggas are still cooking him. Wow. Yeah, I can't even say that I feel bad for him.